What is up, man? Welcome to Hindsight 2020. I'm BK, and with all me, the pre-fishing king, Greg Nozar. What is up, dude?
PFK had a crown on today, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Absolute crown. Let's go.
I was
Good
getting
God.
messages all day from Greg. Caught another one. We got on KFL tonight, earlier this week, Monday. Had a good show, and I'm sitting there being like, it's all on Will Brewer. Greg doesn't know this fishery. Probably not going to catch him. Wrong.
Bro. You better listen, all you fantasy geeks out there, you might want to start your old boy Nozar come Saturday. I'm just saying. It might happen. But
dude, most of the time when you go out and you do this pre-fishing king shit, then the bed is messed. Is it gonna be different this time?
Well, here's what I plan on doing. Okay, today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going out tomorrow. No. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let the girls rest and see what happens. But yeah, dude, it was a ton of fun, man. And what's great about it is my team got involved. We were sharing information, having a good time, and my boy Joe Costa, man, called himself a biggin. Biggin, dude.
A PB?
I think it's a PB, dude. For him, I really do.
Sick.
I think it was a PB, dude. I mean, dude, it was sick. It was silly. So it was fun, man. But anyway, the crown is still in my head. Fits great. And I will bring the diapers and the wipes come Saturday after I crap myself during the tournament. So yeah, but it was a good day. So listen, get your pre-fishing king Nozar number 5 Washington Warhawks shirts available at KFL store on the app. So yeah,
man. Well, congrats to Joe for catching your PB. On any other show, we'd sit here and be like, man, that's so awesome. But I'm going to say, way to catch it in pre-fishing. Good job.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Well, it did for his monthly. He's now leading the monthly. So he's leading that now for the first time, I think, in his career. So
nice.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was a blast. It was so much fun, man. But yeah, man, we're getting ready for a big week in KFL, man. Look, man, this is big for us. Big. My boy Joe. Go, man.
Hey, Joe, I saw that picture, dude. Weird camera angle, but I mean, you're supposed to hold the fish out, make it look.
Well, when the head of it is like that big and the body's like that big,
yeah,
it's definitely weird. But I'm so proud of him, happy for him, man. We swapped cigars at the freaking boat ramp, man. It was kind of like a ceremony, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a ceremony, you know what I mean? Like we were sharing bait information. He caught his, a biggin, and then we just had a ceremony at the boat ramp because we're getting ready to get stormed on. We're like, peace piping, you know what I mean? Like the Indians did. Because we are in Williamsburg, like celebrating the colonials, here. And having a little peace piping action in the colonial area. So it was really, really good. Actually, I was about ready to cry.
Shut up, bro. It's a 22-inch.
2 minutes, yeah, it goes.
Sick fish, man. Bro.
So it was fun. It was fun, man. It was good stuff. But yeah, good day, man. Good day on the water. Man, KFL, man. This weekend it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like you said, look, KFL tonight we have to be all proper and respective. But we might just have to trash some people tonight, man. Like
we got to go into a couple things for sure. There's little housekeeping here for you guys. Like, y'all want to talk some shit and post some memes? Don't send it to mine and Greg's inbox. Post it up, boys. Like, I see y'all being real brave in my DMs, but I don't see it posted on your Facebook.
Let me say this. If your text message is about that long, I'm not reading it. You know what I'm saying? Just not going to do it. Like, I'm too busy to read stuff like that, man. Like, post it somewhere else, man. Post it on Facebook. I might scroll and read it, but
man, ICAST going on. You been following any of that stuff, Greg?
I have a little bit, man. Honestly, I really haven't heard too much out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, so you know how it is, man. Like, every year is a game changer. Like, this is going to be the game changer. I haven't seen anything like that, man. I haven't. Like, you know, like some new bait. I'm sure like some award will happen, and they probably took the gilly and shaved off its tail. It's like it's the gill.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a game changer. You know,
Hey, on that,
I
man,
mean,
Strike King's new offering. I actually saw Jeff Malott post a picture of it. It's like the Zoom speed crawl, but then it has the like rage kick technology on its pinchers.
yeah,
Looks nice. Looks
yeah,
really nice.
right.
Like,
Modified rods with a lifetime warranty. Well,
so
let me
is
tell you something.
Dobbins.
So it's Dobbins, and if you go to Bass Pro, like I know an angler that's a well-known angler that buys Bass Pro rods and reels, and every 6 months he goes into a Bass Pro shop locally where he's at, and they exchange it out like no questions asked. He'll sit there and say, it squeals or squeaks in the reels," and he gets a whole new set like of rods and reels every 6 months. It's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Dobbins like sick, man. Like I just broke one of my rods. I just shaved off the nameplate on it, the serial number, sent it in. They sent me a new one. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
good
don't
stuff.
know.
Yeah,
Great guides. They
yeah.
send them to you for free. Like they're top tier, and the rods are just badass. But
But I mean, although like you know, I've seen the only way I can really keep track of it honestly is you know the KFL's representing down the KF down.
they
I
are. Saw
you
Lauren
know
down there.
our girl Lauren and you know some of the Copperheads and the Hammers are down there, and we got Brad Case and such that they're down there, and you know I've been kind of keeping track a little bit, but I want to go. I've never been. I definitely want to go. So I'd love to see what it's all about, man. See the hoopla about it, man. But it's all good.
Yeah, I saw Brad Case was there, just like sleeping in the chair or fake sleeping in a chair.
That means Brad Case is there. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what is that?
Yeah, but I mean, look, it's not open to the public, so you know, it's all for like you know, meet and greet relationships, and you know, all the people in the industry, and you know, it's good. I mean, you know, it's you know, without the public kind of breathing down your neck, and you know, a lot of stuff. It's a good way to kind of introduce yourself, and you know, basically create relationships. You know, this man, business is all about relationships. So, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely a good thing. I just, you know, I always, obviously, I don't go. So I always, you know, it's nice to know all these people that are going and taking pictures and seeing the stuff. You know, I saw Christine post the new like Hobie R. Is that what it's called? R series. It's like a more cost friendly Hobie. I'm interested to see what that is. What is this? Dobbins rods are. What is that? Is this a gas pump?
Gas or fire? I guess.
Like the gas fire. What?
Yeah. Oh, John Mooney talking trash about Brad Case. They're probably going to be sleeping Saturday too. Oh,
hey,
that's what I'm talking about. Bring the trash talk. Yeah.
I was like, I want to get into that a little bit. Like, we can start with some of the KFL stuff, man. And let's start there. Start with the Bandits.
Sure.
Start with the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Me and you both have been getting just a pelting from Jason Willis.
Yeah.
The boy's on cloud nine. Yeah. Thinks he's going to go in there and sock him in the mouth. And I was so disappointed that the Bandits started Isham over Mooney because Mooney fished for Hurricanes last year.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I wanted to see Big Moon in that matchup bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with, you know, Louisiana kind of projecting up. Bandits kind of having an off year after they had formed like what we thought was like going to be a super team. Oh, I wanted Big Moon in that matchup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, you know, we made our picks, man. I'm not going to apologize for my picks. I think the Bandits are going to smoke the Hurricanes. And if the Hurricanes come out and they win, hey, man, hats off to you. I picked wrong. It won't it won't be the last time I freaking picked a team wrong. But I mean, look, here's the deal. Like on paper, that's all we can look at, right? I know that the Bandits are 0-3. I know the Louisiana Hurricanes are 2-1. And I know what Blake Hennig can do. I know the talent that's there, okay? But you put Derek Miller on Fairfield, that's good enough for me, okay? Typically, it's good enough for me, you know? And then you throw in Jeff Isham, you know, again, another very strong angler. And then Jared Blockelman, you know? I'm just –
Hellbig.
I'm sorry, man. And Hellbig, man. I mean, Yeah, sorry, man. Like, it is what it is, man. You know, at the end of the day, you have to have higher numbers than those 4 guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one though, because the Bandits are a team that don't typically talk a lot. I think we might see a little chatter after
Yeah.
that one. I think they
There
might have
should
still
be.
something to say.
Well, you can't talk when you're 0-3, dude. I'm like, you're not allowed. Like, that's like, forbidden.
They should probably focus on the quality of kayaks. Mine lasted 1 month. Who are you talking about there, Blackbeard?
What is that?
I don't know. I mean, Greg has an awesome model kayak. It's called the AP something or another. You buy it and then you completely unwire everything and then rewire it yourself. It's an awesome kayak.
Hey, man.
If you want to work.
I just got my Master's of Electrician certificate, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you absolutely have to have that. You know what I mean? When you buy that thing. You do have to rewire it. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just the current in that motor just cannot withstand, or the plugs cannot withstand that current. So, I mean, it just melts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's funny. But, yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, so what do you think about this weekend? I mean, like all in all, I mean, who's gonna be the winners and losers, and who's gonna be like scrambling?
Oh, bro, I think the loser's gonna be the Empire, man.
Yeah,
I think Empire right now, it's 2-1, but I cannot get that road performance out of my brain, man. It's all I could think about. You guys posted
by going 29 points. Yeah, 29 inches.
You guys caught a 14 to 15-inch fish or something like that. And
yeah, man. And the game I'm really looking at is because it has the biggest implications, man. It is definitely like the Granite State Sticks in Connecticut. Because here's the deal: if Granite State does Granite State things, they go 4-0, right? Okay, we know they're gonna have some control.
Yeah.
But then, you've got Connecticut. If they lose and Delaware wins, which could have very well happen, like because you picking Delaware over New York, you get a 4-way 2-2 tie out of the Atlantic region, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a mess for me trying to figure out who's going to be, in first, second, third, fourth, right? Because you have head-to-heads and points and all that stuff and divisional records and all that stuff, which, I mean, hey, that's what we're here to do.
NFC East, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got the game out of Indianapolis and Motor City.
Oh.
And this has just got saucy.
Yeah,
this
let's
one
talk
here
about
just got real saucy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did. Why did it get so saucy, Greg? What happened? Just a nice friendly matchup on St. Clair.
All right, so yeah, look, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not afraid to share this, but I want to get everybody's thoughts on this, right? Everybody's been fishing for quite some time. Mm-hmm. It's basically veterans in this industry, right? There's probably been a time or two that you've been out in the kayak and you fish tournaments that you're like, this is a little shady. Like, this weather is a little shady. You know what I mean? I got a call today, and the Motor City ambassadors were concerned about winds going up to basically gusting at 30, 35 miles an hour, which I get. Okay. Sustained basically 15 to 25. But if anybody's fished St. Clair, the winds come out of the west or southwest or northwest, anything out of the west or south, anything but east. Let's just say that anything but east,
mm-hmm.
It's fishable, right? It's not like where you want to go. Like, you can't open up the entire lake, but it's fishable. And it's just one of those things, man. Like, they were concerned about the wind speed. And then at the same text, I get this snapshot of the wind speed. And you know what? I tell you what, let's do this. We're going to discuss this with our boy.
Let's bring in the expert on St. Clair.
There's the expert on St. Clair, man. What's up, dude?
What's up? How you guys doing?
So, good, man. What's up, Eric? Siddiqi. So we were just talking about this, man. So we're talking about the KFL game because, we kind of have a little conundrum here. Motor City called me. They're concerned about the winds coming out of the south and west, right? And St. Clair, man. And even if the winds kick up, let's say 15 to 25 or whatever, but and I know if it's coming out of the west or south, yeah, it's going to eliminate half the lake. But I got a screenshot and it said, winds out of the west or south, and it's waves. Now get this, guys, 0.7 feet. Okay, 0.7 feet to 1 foot waves. Man, I mean, I find it hard because, look, you've got canals, you've got the Detroit River, you've got other parts of the west and south that you can fish that you don't have. If it's coming out of the south, you're not going to fish the north. There's no way. Like what those kind of waves, right? But if you're going to be fishing of the west, I'm sorry, if you're going to be fishing out of the west, you're not going to fish out of the east, and vice versa, right? But to me, I had to make the call. Like right now, today's Thursday. You've got Indianapolis coming into town. They've already pre-fished St. Clair, and then you're going to pick them up and you're going to move them to a lake that we don't know anything about. Like I can't make that call. Like I'm not going to make that call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's coming heavy out of the east is probably the worst to fish the west side of the lake, but you can still go down and fish the Detroit River or get back in those canals and just fish for largemouth. Do what you have to do. I've been out there. You can still catch fish and do it, and really are not that far away from shore anyways, if anything happened to happen. So I had a few years ago, I fished a KBF there where I practiced in the heavy winds on Thursday because I knew that's what tournament day was going to be. A lot of people decided to go in the canals and fish for largemouth because I knew how bad it was going to be, and I decided just to see if I could do it on Thursday. And I was the only one who even pre-fished out there. And I ended up winning it, fishing out there in that heavy wind. I said, you can do it. I nearly sank a few times. I had to bail out water with a cut-off water bottle, but you can do it. It's how much you want it,
Well, we don't want, listen, I think, look, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. Like, we don't want to put these anglers into a position where it's going to risk their life. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But, I'll be honest with you. Like, if Kobe or KBF was there, yeah, but
they'll find your body. Don't worry.
A little shady, but let's be honest, Eric. Like, would KBF or Hobie cancel the event based on what the conditions would be on Saturday? I don't think so.
So I don't know if it was me or you, but you're breaking up there.
I said, Eric, do you think that Hobie or KBF would cancel the event if the winds were like that this Saturday?
Never. The worst I've ever seen was last year on Lake Champlain for the Hobie event, and that was the scariest I've ever been on the water, and they didn't, as far as I know, even consider canceling the event. So,
right,
yeah.
This year at Toledo, man, it was cold, and we had ripping wind storms, and Hobie was like, "Don't be an idiot."
Yeah,
if your boat can't handle 3-foot waves, you're not fishing the main lake. Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys know. Especially if you've ever been out in your kayak and you've been in rough shit, you kind of know the second you hit it. Nah, I can't. That's not for me. Yeah. Or okay, this ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Like Siddiqi said, I've had that tournament at Toledo. I had to pull over, Greg. I told you this 3 times and empty out my front hatch. I had it battened down, but I kept having to dump water because I was just nonstop taking waves over the front of the boat. Man, just is what it is.
Right.
But I chose to fish that. There was a river that was protected. I could have gone to, and I didn't. And then I skunked. Exactly. So what's up? I showed everyone.
On St. Clair, you could always fish those canals and stuff for a largemouth, and you might be able to pick a couple smallmouth off in there, or maybe out in front of it. So you just got to make a decision on whether or not it's too rough.
It's angler responsibility, man. Exactly, it's angler responsibility. Don't be stupid. If it's blowing that hard, you got to find all other alternatives, man. You just do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if it's coming out of the south, you could fish that north side, just north of Metro. There's a point that comes out it's fairly protected up there, and then of course you could fish the Detroit River, which there's fish down there. I know I was just down there. I caught them pretty good in practice down there. So
yeah.
There you go. Juice spilled. Nothing to worry about, guys. Y'all can still
just go out there. Exactly. So Siddiqi, man, you just got done fishing St. Clair, man. What the heck happened to you like Saturday, man? Like, why you finished 26, you crapped in bed, man? What's the deal?
Man.
Like, seriously.
So
I mean,
I don't like fishing in the heavy wind either.
You were 26 out of 31, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like fishing in the heavy wind either. So I was actually I found some fish out in from a 9 Mile and Metro and stuff, and then I had some fish down by the Detroit River, and I decided to go check it out. I decided I was gonna go fish out of Metro Saturday morning. So and I got there and it was supposed to be 6 miles an hour, and it was blowing 20 to 25. And I was like, if this is 6, I don't want to see what 15 is, which was supposed to get to 15 later, or what they think 15 is. So I left and went back down to the Detroit River and decided to fish there because I had some fish there. And we had just had overcast weather all day, and I was watching. There was a BFL out of there, and I was watching. They all those boats were out right out in front of Pesh, catching them pretty good. And I was like, these fish are. If the sun never comes out, these fish are never moving off of that stuff. And I stuck it out there till about 8 or 9, and I was like, I'm going back to Metro. So I drove back up there and launched and fished a little bit. Got a little bit, the stuff figured out for the next day, but couldn't really pick up any of those bigger ones. They're really coming a little earlier. So, so then I just went and stuck it out in Metro the second day because I knew the fish were there, and I felt like no matter what the wind did, I was gonna stick it out there because of what happened down in the Detroit River that first day. If the sun comes out, they'll move out on that deeper stuff, but you can't cross the Canada line to get into where if they stay shallow or there's so much more over there on the Canada side.
You can't cross Canada line so no one sees you. Apparently, there's some anglers in that tournament that were in there.
Yeah. Me and Josh were fishing down there Saturday, and we saw somebody cross over into Canada fishing in front, but I don't know who it was. Yeah.
I got a question for you, man. Straight up, man, Siddiqi. This will probably be the end of our friendship, but I want to ask you this question, okay? You and Cody Melton, man, you go out and find fish together. Why does he kick your ass every single time and take the checks, and you just left with nothing?
Not every time. It's just.
I don't think I've ever seen her blush.
He's got a passion.
It seems like every time we go 1-2, he's 1 and I'm 2. I don't know what that's about.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, he's out there kicking your tail, man.
Yeah.
What was it? It was like like I saw your post there. I mean, you said your boat was like you almost sank. Like, was it just like rough? Like you were. I
honestly think there's some water coming in somewhere, but it's not as much as I thought it was initially. Saturday, I really think what happened was because I don't need as much to bring as much stuff out for smallmouth as I do for largemouth. So I emptied about half or more of the soft plastics I had in my front hatch, which probably weighs about 50 pounds. Mm-hmm. And when I did that, I got the 1103 now, and I think that extra weight in the front hatch was keeping it level. I didn't realize it till I took all that out, and I went out Saturday. And I think that 1103 was pulling the back end under a little bit, and it was causing a bunch of water to get in there. And I had to stop at least 30 times and just bail out water. And
so and my follow-up question to this is, you are a Bassmasters Classic champion. Pardon my language for any sensitive viewers at home. How the fuck do you not have a new boat?
Exactly.
I don't know.
What's up with this, dude?
I don't know.
Don't give me that, man.
I'm done. I'm done.
Come on, man. What's the deal? What is the deal? Like,
I don't know. I've tried. It's
I know.
I don't know. It's not something that Hobie doesn't like to give out boats, and I know I could win out of that boat. I've used it for a long time, and I've tried to work with other companies too, and so I've just decided, just go fish my tournaments, and not worry about it anymore.
Like, you're too good looking to be like the role model for their new boat, or like what? Like, I don't get it, man. Like you literally won the most prestigious thing. At being from Texas, I saw, what Mark Pendergraph got. Wrapped Kayak, all his sponsors on there. I mean, that I'm wondering, where is this for our boy Siddiqi?
That's a great question, man. I mean, and also too, like, why aren't you at ICAST?
Oh man, because I got Hobie Worlds coming up, and
Oh, gotcha.
and I haven't really officially announced it yet, but I'm also gonna be fishing the Pan American in Mexico. So the deal is I'm gonna go down.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm driving to Kentucky Lake to fish week 6 of the KFL. I'm driving from there down to Fort Worth, Texas. I'm gonna fly out there to Europe. I'm gonna travel around for a few days, and then the 7th, when the everybody starts arriving, I'm gonna fly over to Sweden, and then I'm gonna fish the tournament. Then I fly back on the 15th to Fort Worth, and I'm driving from there down to El Cachillo Lake in Mexico to fish the Pan American, like
Sick.
straight. Yeah,
That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
so that's
Hold
why
on,
it's just too much.
Where are you videoing us from? I see like stone pillars. Like, is this
Oh,
your...
this is
That's his house he bought after he went in the classic.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
This is one of the perks from the classic one.
Not understood. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm glad they, with all your winnings, you could buy a new mansion, house, hotel, whatever it is, but not a new boat. Good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Siddiqi, I want to ask you a serious question, man. Seriously, where do you see kayak fishing going, like, in the next 2 or 3 years? Because, like, you're starting to see some trails fizzle, some trails elevate, some trails do this, and that. I mean, like, what, you're obviously in with the crowd, and you've been traveling and you do this full time and stuff, man. So this is an important question to you, but, like, what's to come here in the near future, man? Like, do we see, KBF continue? Do we see Hobie, do something else or add on, or do we see, Bass, fizzle out? I mean, what's in Siddiqi's future here, man?
Yeah, I mean, Hobie's done really well this year. I think they would get even more. I mean, not that they necessarily need it, but most of their events have sold out. But I think they get a lot more interest if they allowed motors in their events, obviously. I mean, it's cool to have, one that's a little different, I guess, but I don't know. I like my motor. So then Bass, they've got some work to do, but they're doing pretty well, and I really like the schedule.
You want to expand on that, Eric? You are the Bassmaster Classic winner. You want to expand on that a little bit? He didn't freeze.
Gotcha.
I was like, I hope I can hold out longer than Siddiqi can.
I know he didn't freeze.
Yeah, like KBF, one of their big events of the year is East West, and they decided to add St. Clair into it. I think a better way to go would have been just to leave East West the way it was, and then have a separate tournament on Lake St. Clair, and maybe even try to have the whole lake open, the Kansas side. I don't know if that'll really ever happen again, but I think they had a Border City Classic again this year where they had both sides open. So
right on.
I don't know.
I have a question for you, Eric, because we actually didn't talk to Jordan Marshall much about this, but like in prep for going to Worlds, like, one, congrats on that. Like, that's so sick. Are you taking your boat over there? Are you taking you're getting your rods over plastics? Like, how are y'all getting all that shit over there, man?
Yeah, well, they supply the boat, and for everybody that goes, and they have your name on it with the country representing and everything.
Sick.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then, they supply Fish Finder. Lowrance is a sponsor. Power Pole's a sponsor. So you'll have a power pole. And then you just have to figure out how to get your rods over there, whatever you want to bring. So, like, for Australia, I planned on just buying some rods there and maybe shipping them back or trying to sell them before I left. And I brought a bunch of baits and stuff over there. But when I got there, I met a guy named Chris Hickson, who's sponsored by Daiwa. And I was asking him where he could place to buy some rods, where he's like, I brought like 60 with me. I was sponsored by Daiwa. You can just pick out whatever you want. So I got to use whatever, grab a few rods and everything, and I didn't have to worry about it. So that worked out pretty well. So I'm just
Nice,
gonna
yeah.
kind of wing it and go over there, and I'll bring some gear and some lures and stuff with me, and then I'll just buy some stuff, and if I can't, sell them to a local or something before I leave or whatever, then I'll just chip them back. I think that's a better way to do it. And I might be able to get a little local information from Tackle Shop.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you this? I mean, I'm being real here. Okay, so you guys get selected for the Worlds, which is great. I mean, you guys earn your way in. But I guess my question is like, what's the payout? Like, what's the end game? Because like you're raising all this money to go. It costs you thousands of dollars. They send you over there, right? Is it going to be televised? Is it going to be like? I mean, what's the whole purpose of the Worlds? I mean, is there prize money? I mean, is there anything you can win?
All. Sorry.
You know what I mean? What's the end game for this?
Well, it's more the prestige of it. There's not any prize money. They do give out, a bunch of different stuff. They have, we got reels and different stuff the last time over there. A bunch of different, baits and stuff like that. But it's more the prestige of it, of going, and it's an amazing experience, really, to hang out with anglers from all across the world, that same passion that you have, and just talk fishing and hang out and have a good time. So, that's what it is. And then one person that gets to call himself the world champion, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah,
you're already the world champion, man. That's what Bassmasters Classic champion is.
Well, that's to say. I mean, we see what great thing has done for you.
Yeah.
There's no
right.
There's no boat. Get this man a boat, man. Listen, Hobie, whoever, get this man a boat, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, to me, like, it's one of the things. One of my goals was qualify for Hobie Worlds. So now I've qualified twice, so it doesn't matter to me that much. I know I earned my way. I was able to get there and do it, so I'm gonna go have the experience and enjoy myself. I know what kind of amazing experience it is by going to Australia. So.
Oh yeah. What is the qualification process? I'm ignorant. I don't know.
Actually, I qualified by winning Lake St. Clair for this event. I was actually the only guy in Australia that was already qualified for the next Worlds.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey, Eric, I understand that your seat number is like 31A. Going over to Europe is what I see, and 31B happens to be Ron Champion. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. But I didn't get handed my spot either. I earned it.
Oh God, True. Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? No, that's
true.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, so getting back to these series and stuff. Like, I mean, what's your thoughts with KBF, man? What's gonna happen next year with them? Is it gonna be business as usual? Or are they gonna kind of like? What do you think? They're gonna redo things? Like they went out west more so this year. They added a lot more tournaments and qualifications. Get into the 10 house stuff like that. Do they cut back? I mean, what's the deal?
All right. I don't think they would seem so far behind if they hadn't gone to all the regional stuff for the couple of years and everything else. I think the year that they had the $10,000 opens and the trail events, that was probably the best year that they had. They would have stuck with that. Mm-hmm. I think they would have really got. They wouldn't be having events where there's not that many people showing up, like 30 guys and stuff. But I think if they get their stuff together, they could probably come back. I don't know what Chad's plan is or Christy's plan is for the future, but I don't think they're really that far behind. They just I think they need to do a better job of promoting. Hobie does a really good job of promoting their events, mm-hmm. So I think that's a big part of why they've had the success that they have.
Right on. So let me take you back after your classic win, man. Like, I was with you when you were at the KBBT finals, and you're just kind of like pouring your heart out, like, man, why does all this stuff happen to me, and like all these bad things. And trust me, dude, you had a slew of stuff happen to you. I'm like, this guy has freaking bad luck. I mean, he just got bad luck, and all of a sudden, man, like the world opens up, you win the classic. Like, what came about with all that? Like, was it? I mean, obviously that's a big win, dude. But what came about with all that, dude? Like, what did you get? Like, what sponsors came to you? What attention did you get and all that stuff? Like, how big really is that win as a kayak fisherman, man?
Well, I pretty much was able to go after any sponsor that I wanted, and then some of the ones that I had already been talking to just made it a lot smoother, really, to go to them and ask for what I wanted.
Right.
I'd been looking for a rain gear sponsor for a while, and I had been talking with Buck and Bass and really liked their product and what they were doing. So I was able to go show them something. We talked before the classic, and I guess I basically told them I was going to go win it, and and then we'll talk, basically. So that actually ended up working out pretty well.
Right.
Lowrance is one. I've used Lowrance forever, and I was on the regular pro staff, for a few years, and dropped off of there. And so I was able to talk to them afterwards, and was able to get them to hook me up with some gear. St. Croix is a new sponsor of mine. I haven't had a rod sponsor for a long time. It's really hard to get with those bigger rod sponsors and reel sponsors and stuff like that. It's hard to get much out of those guys, And I was also able to go to some non-endemics and get some cash and stuff like that. And I've got a lot of companies that are helping me out with worlds. A lot of sponsors that I've had for a long time are helping me out, and it's also another good thing about it. It's a good opportunity to go to new sponsors and kind of show them something, and bring them on for the future and stuff like that. So.
Eric, is it true rumors are going around the KFL that Todd Patrick was crying after your loss against Motor City at Nickajack? Is there any truth to that?
I don't know. He wasn't there.
God.
All right, man. Dude, your team, man, come on paper, man, strong. Like the strongest in the KFL. There's no doubt about it, man. Like, your guys are 2-2. Like, I mean, your season's not over with by any means. I mean, you kind of want Indianapolis to win. You do not want Indianapolis to win, right? And then you have a complete division in chaos, right? And then you're only a game behind at that point, man. But talk about first of all, talk about your experience with KFL, man, and talk about how your team is, man. I mean, with all these, powerhouse anglers on your team, man. You guys are like alpha. You got alpha personalities, man. It's kind of hard to manage all those personalities, especially all these very accomplished anglers, man. It's gotta be hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I didn't pick Nickajack, so I didn't really think I'd have to do that much there. I was kind of relying on the other guys to do that. I thought I was going to do better than I did, but it was actually real tough out there. So, but I think we're in between two lakes, Chickamauga and Gunnersville, where if we would have put them on either one of those lakes, they wouldn't have had a chance to win. So I don't know what we were doing on Nickajack, to be honest with you. But
who made the decision? Wait, hold on. Seriously, who made that decision?
Well, there's some guys like Josh and Ewing and Ethan, and that wanted on Nickajack. I felt like they could do well or whatever. So I've only fished it once. I was for the KBF FLW years ago, so I didn't really have a whole lot of confidence with it. But they seem to be pretty confident with it. Just like the next event was supposed to be Percy Priest, and I've never fished Percy Priest. There aren't a lot of lakes that I haven't fished that are kind of the bigger, more popular lakes. So I was like, we need to talk about moving that somewhere else, because I don't have a whole lot of faith after Nickajack that, so we switched to Kentucky Lake. So we've all got a lot of experience there, and I have a lot of experience there. I don't like
Matt Zeiss in the chat is
Matt Zeiss is absolutely smoking the chat.
He's
I can only
he's
imagine.
MVP right now.
I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm not great at that.
Would you go back? Read some
Kind of glad I can't see
You're
it.
not gonna post it.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry you can't see it. I'll screenshot it for you, Siddiqui. You'd like it. He's got some good things for you to bring up at Worlds. No doubt. Sorry.
This guy's a freaking dude. He's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
try
God.
to be
But,
professional, but maybe
yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, but look, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, you guys are fighting for your playoff lives, right? I mean, you kind of need some help. Getting swept by Motor City, that one hurts, But all you do, win out, man. And let chips fall where they may. You might squeak in, in the 5th or 6th seed. It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, the only one I'm really that worried about, like going forward, is the one against Arkansas, and I'm going to be out of the country, so I'm hoping the guys can take care of business there. But they're going to have to fish against Cody, so not
good luck, right?
Not easy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, if he keep his boat not sunk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's another one. He's another one. Like, he's a great angler. I mean, and he's having boat troubles, constantly having boat troubles, man.
Yeah. He was in better shape than I was because he had a bilge pump. He was ready to go.
Nice. Gotta be prepared with the bilge pump. But yeah, I mean, like Cody's not short of like people backing him though. I mean, I don't know at what point I became aware of Cody Milton. I guess it's probably the first national event I saw, and I was like, dang, that guy's got a van. It says Fish USA on it. He must be a big deal. And then, he's like, oh, hey, I'm Cody. Oh, I mean, he's so nice. And I was like, dang, man. Like,
he's such a good dude. He's such a great dude, man.
Yeah. I mean, chill guy, but like, yeah, somebody get that man a new boat, bro. Like, God, dog.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. Like, with baits and stuff and all this shit, like a boat, maybe $4,000. Like, cough it up, dog.
I remember for years, years ago, he used to not even have a seat on his Hobie. He was sitting on like a milk crate or something for a long time. Because he stands on his seat so much when he's doing, sight fishing and stuff, that he just went right through the seat, I guess, and he just ended up having to sit on a milk crate after that.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw Cody was on fork and he was standing on his seat on the troll motor looking for bedfish. Oh, look at this bitch. Clifton Allen. My man, you owe me so many tournament reviews and all this stuff.
I'm a big fan of Cliff Allen.
Oh, me too, man. Who isn't? I guess maybe Ron Champion, but that's probably it. Like, cheater's a cheater, bro.
Yeah.
So decreeth the Allen brothers.
Yeah, no kidding. So Eric, what so after your world tour that you're going on, by the way, I'm freaking jealous as all can be. I mean, you're going to Europe, I mean, and then you're coming over and then going to Pan Am games. That's awesome, dude. So what's next, man? Like, what's the next in the Siddiqi world, man?
After all that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we got a couple of championships coming up. I'm hoping I've done enough. I guess I'll know by the time I get back from these 2 trips, because I'll miss. I'm not fishing Susky, and then we'll have Wolf and Fox. So then I'll have a better idea where I'm sitting in AOI, if I need to fish Dardanelle or not. But I want to fish the TOC, which is on Caddo this year, and the KBF National Championship on Kentucky Lake. So I still have a chance to win every championship this year, technically. So I'm gonna keep that dream going. See what I can do. I think especially Josh Stewart might have something to say on Kentucky Lake, but
he's gonna be.
It was a fun Dakota house at St. Clair. It was me, Cody, and Josh all week, and man.
Oh my gosh!
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Man, are you qualified for TOC already?
I'm sitting in 10th in AOL right now, so.
Gotcha. You'll be good. Yeah, you'll be good. Yeah, I mean, top 30 make it, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. The 20 people are not going to jump you, right?
Yeah,
I don't think so. In two matches or 2 games? Yeah, I don't think so. No
Yeah.
way.
2 events.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd feel better if I had a top 3 and be done with it, but
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're automatically qualified, right? When that happens.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good stuff, dude. Well, listen, man. Enjoyed having you, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. Like,
Yeah, no
I
problem.
mean, we didn't even
Thanks
talk
for
about
having
big
me on.
dildos, man. We didn't even talk about big dildos, which is great.
We didn't.
There's a story about
I
that.
took
I heard
that
that's what you
down.
wanted to talk about, and I was like,
You want to tell that story, Eric? Let's go ahead and tell the story.
Oh,
What happened between
well,
Saturday and Sunday?
yeah, I saw. I think it was Will Brewer that was messing with our logo, so I turned around and messed with your logo a little bit, and
Not a
put a
little
little-
bit, dude. You defamed it.
and then found the perfect picture of you standing up from the back. That I couldn't help myself, so I had to mess with that a little bit, and I sent you that picture. And then I had that horrible day on St. Clair the first day, trying not to sink and everything. And we talked after that, and they were like, "What happened?" Well, I think I jinxed myself with that picture, and then I sent you a new one and put a little red circle with a cross through it over the dildo in the picture, and there you go, second place. I should have took it back from the logo too. I probably would have won it.
That's exactly right.
I jinxed myself.
if you weren't
You
fishing
jinxed
against Cody
yourself,
Milton,
man.
you might have won.
No, fishing
I
against
couldn't
a
just let Will
whole
Brewer mess with our
powerful-
logo though and let him get away with it. I had to do something.
Hey, that's
Hey,
fair, man.
I
I
agree.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. You know, the memes were flying, man. It was hilarious. Holy smokes! It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, good luck, man. Have fun at the Worlds, man. You post a lot of stuff, man. I can't wait to see it, man.
All right.
And dude, kick some butt, man. Represent the USA, baby. Let's go.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Appreciate
it.
Sweden bass.
It's not bass. It's perch and pike.
Yeah, perch and pike.
Huh, okay, awesome.
They got some
Well,
big
good luck
perch over
perch
there,
and
so it
pike
should be pretty
fishing.
interesting. But in
Yeah.
Mexico, we're going for largemouth, so that'll be a lot of fun. Supposedly, there's 16 pounders in there, and they're not uncommon. And average size fish is 3.5 pounds there. I'm pretty sure it's a pay to fish lake. I heard it was $1,500 a day normally, and we're gonna get to fish it for 3 days, I think.
Oh, is it like El Salto or something?
It's El Cachillo.
Oh, okay. I was like, Salto is like a really popular one that they do. So yeah.
But
That's
apparently
sick,
we have
man.
to drive through some unsavory areas to get to the lake, so we're all going to convoy down together. So
Nice.
should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That'll be
Give me
sick,
time.
man. We'll go get you a PB, man.
yeah. I think my PB is 12.65, so
Oh,
I'd like
might
to
be
go.
tough.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be tough,
that's
but I will see if
solid.
I can beat it.
Dude, where'd you catch
Where'd you
that?
get 12.65?
Cincinnati, Gravel Pit Lake,
Huh? Really?
12.65 in a Gravel Pit Lake in Cincinnati. Yep, it was less than a pound from the state record, which is 13.13 in Ohio.
Dang, bro.
Oh my
That's
God, dude.
insane.
Wow.
And I
Can't believe
fished.
that.
This was about 7 years ago. I've fished everywhere since and haven't been able to beat it. So
That's amazing, dude.
Dude, that's tough to beat. You almost caught a teener, man.
yeah,
It's insane.
Yeah.
I know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, there's a state record in that lake, but this company owns it now, Martin Marietta, and they won't let anybody fish it anymore. So I tried to last year and got a trespassing ticket.
Nice. Nice.
But
It's worth it. It's worth
yeah,
it. Right.
there's giants
Right
in there.
on.
It's full of gizzard shad and giant white crappie and just giant bass. Nobody fishes it.
Yeah.
That's the special recipe down here in Texas.
It is.
Giant gizzard shad and lots of big crappie for them to eat. So
hmm
Yeah. Good stuff, dude. All right, man. Listen, have fun, man. Post some pictures. We want to see it, man.
All right, man. All right, thanks for having
Right
me
on. Thanks for coming
I'll
on,
catch you
dude.
guys
Yeah,
later.
later, Eric.
Yeah.
Peace,
See ya.
man.
Eric Siddiqi, man.
Dude, cool guy, man. Sorry about my internet there.
It's all
My
good,
wife, my wife decided to move the table our router sits on. Things went to hell.
man. It's all good, man.
She came in.
Hopefully
She's
we're
like, "I'm
still
sorry." It's like it's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good, man. Well, yeah, man. So, like we were talking. I mean, thanks for coming on, Eric, man. Appreciate it. Like, Hobie, come on, get this guy a boat, man. Let's be better. You know what I mean? let's do better than that. So, but yeah, I mean, like we were talking about the KFL, man. We got some like go getting games going on, man. Like no joke. Like
Dude,
this
tons
is
of them.
yeah,
Tons
this is
of
gonna be a
them.
lot of fun. Yeah, I'll tell you want to get the games up here, man. Let's go. Right here, man. Maniacs, Bay State Attack. To be honest
Okay.
with you,
Now that we don't have to hold anything back, why the fuck is Jason Gardner not fishing this matchup, man?
that's a great question.
Why?
Yeah,
He
Great
has
question.
been consistent. He's been good. Like the Maniacs need this game.
okay,
Why
so
is he not fishing?
I think this is more a logistical thing, man, because John and Judy are like down in New Hampshire, and that's only a state away, like closeness to Bay State. And Adam and Keith are going to travel, no problem. But I think this is more of a proximity thing, and also John and Judy only fished one game this year, man. So I think it's more to that.
Greg, are you freezing up or is this my internet now?
Yeah, I'm froze. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
I was like,
So,
oh no, my internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is not my connection. It's supposed to be Blake's. So
I got off. I
don't mess
broadcast.
with it. Yeah. So I don't know. But hey, so Tim Spire and I were talking, right? Tim was complaining about teams not playing all 8 of their players, and I got in a debate with him. I'm like, dude, like it's supposed to be your best 4, right? I'm right here to like make people feel good. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be starting your best 4. Let them compete for the spot, right? Or if your anglers are fishing good, you should be starting your best 4, especially now, dude. Like we're getting ready to make its playoff run, man.
Well, okay, Greg, this is a great topic. It's like I actually want the chat to kind of like post their opinions on this because there was a time last year that we had teams going same 4, same 4, same 4, same 3 with an alternate. And I was like, should we have a rule that's like MLB pitching or anything like where when someone starts or hours on the water or however you want to do it, but basically your players are on hour count. You can't fish the same 4 every game. You have to rotate. Yeah, and I know it's not Little League. I know it's who is available, this, that, and the other. But there is a deal where we do allow you to field 8 anglers. You can field a team of 8. And so
Correct.
For these teams that field 8 people and they fish 4 or 5 all season, doesn't really like show me the depth or like rotation or anything like that. But I see the people have spoken. They are all very butthurt about maybe taking a loss because they can't field their best and they didn't pick good teams. So there you go.
I think it should be. Look, I mean, like I think it should be the best anglers fitted for that particular lake and situation. Like, if you've got a river, you should not be putting reservoir anglers who fish freaking 40, 50 feet and they're masters at it with freaking live scope on a daggone river. Like, it's two different anglers, man, that specialize in those things. I mean, I'm just sorry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You should be able to put your best anglers on the body of water that's going to give you the best chance to win. Not, well, you started last week.
No.
And you're going to start this week because you didn't start last week. That's bullcrap.
No, Greg, that is not the context that we talked about this in. The context that we talked about this in was that when you get your schedule and you see Highland Reservoir, river system, this, that you had to plan out your players who were best suited, and it brought in the managerial aspect a lot more than just Yeah, I mean, this ain't feeling shit, JR. Like, grow up, homie. This is facts of like when you play any other sport, you have to like manage your players and like suit their strengths. So like when you see the schedule that comes out, which you all get ahead of time, you see, okay, we have a Highland Reservoir. Who are my good Highland Reservoir guys? Okay, I can start them that week. I can start 3 guys and I need to rotate in 1.
Right.
Like that's where we were talking about it in that fact.
No,
It's not
I
about
agree
feelings.
with
This
that.
isn't Little League.
No.
We were talking about making it more complex for the owners that you can't just rely on 4 guys and say, you fish all our games, please carry us. Thank you.
No, that's true too. I mean, but I want to tell you this, like the conversation I had was like, you should like, because like every KFL team should start all 8 players throughout the season because, you know, they should have the ability to go. If you have 2 guys that are just there, you know, as backups, right? And they're just there to fill roster spots.
Yes.
Teams have zero obligation to put those guys on the roster and start them if they don't fit the freaking like lake, you know, or if they don't fit the, you know, the river or whatever.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And so like, but see, owners, and this is a debate that we've had, like you should have to start all 8 of your players throughout the season.
Yeah.
And if a team's, yeah, I mean, yes or I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it should be the best 4.
And I don't necessarily say you have to start all 8. What I was talking about is that there is limited use. So you got a Derek Brundle, right? You can fish Derek Brundle anywhere. Look at your matchups for the seasons and say, I need Brundle here. I need him here. I need him here. Then you have like his hours locked in. Then you have your guys who are like peripheral guys, not as strong, just like you have in baseball. You have like your 6-man in basketball. In NFL, you know, like you have like your slot guys where it maybe is a better matchup versus a certain team. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, JR, you can say that's clown shit if you want. Like, and maybe it's too complicated for like where the league is right now, but that's what we're talking about. Like, we're trying to talk about like how best to like utilize these full rosters that have utility guys, that have guys that are like river specialists. Like when your team picks up a river specialist, how do you best utilize that? Like,
well, I mean, here's what's great about it. Like the KFL doesn't have like we'll never put a rule that says you have to have all 8 of your players play. I mean, this is not
agreed.
Like this is not Little League. This is not like, you know, Johnny sitting on the bench all year. You know, we want to see him catch, you know, a pop fly in right field. That will never do that. Teams have the ability and have the obligation to their own team only. Okay, and I like the teams. I like the teams that do get everybody involved, like what Connecticut's doing. I think it's fantastic.
It's so good.
You know, they're bringing all 6 guys up to, you know, there's 6 guys up to, you know, to Grant State. 4 start, but 6 are going to be pre-fishing. And I mean, dude, I think that's a fantastic thing for them to do, right? Only 4 start. Like if I was going up, I would be happy to go pre-fish and let people know. And if it's not, you know, if I can't fish it or whatever, if I'm not comfortable fishing it, I'll back out. Like I want my team to win. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, I just do. I mean, whatever it takes. If it takes me for sitting on the bench, like there's 2 reservoirs that the Warhawks fish. I can't stand. I am not good at. And like when Will put me on the Occoquan Reservoir, I'm like, Will, you're smoking crack, dude. I hate that freaking place. Like, why would you start me? You know? But I was the only guy that was available. You know what I mean? You know, your best ability is availability, and wound up working out. But it was just kind of like, I mean, that's not my jam, dude. But like, he better start me every daggone Potomac River event, you know, game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is just conversational, guys. Like I don't know, like if we're making that clear, but like this is an idea that I think, from my point of view, like if we up the roster to 10 or something like that, like it's not that all 10 need to play, but I would like to see, because like certainly there is a point of like boredom from my perspective when I see teams filling the same roster week in, week out. There's no changes. There's no tactical changes. And like, there are owners that make these decisions, and like, just to kind of say, hey, we have the players, they just go fish. Like, I mean, for my, like, and I'm a baseball guy. I mean, it's just a little monotonous for me. I want to see like having to make tactical decisions from a roster standpoint based on the lake you're fishing and have that be an impact, because then we're bringing in the managerial or like coach side to these teams that isn't there right now.
Right.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I get it.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean, but I think this is more of a logistical thing than it is an availability thing, right?
Agreed.
And so,
agreed.
Yeah, I because I mean, like where Jason lives in Maine, it takes them like 5-6 hours to get down to Massachusetts. Where John and Judy, it's just like it's way closer for them. And again, like, I mean, I don't know the reason why they're playing, but I mean, John and Judy are more than capable of winning this game with Adam and Keith. More than capable enough. And also, Jason might not feel comfortable in Nashua, where they're playing. You know,
and so this is why, like, I brought this point up based on this game is that, like, Mike Elrick, how many games for Bay State have we seen him in?
Every single game.
Every single game, right?
Yes, every single game.
So what if Bay State, if this was like their last game, they could use Mike because he has like exceeded the angler hours per like the regular season, or that Maniacs were like, we're not going to fish Gardner because he's too, like, we need him for this matchup. I just think it's like an extra layer that, like, into the future, maybe like I'm way too like far down, but like I like that kind of thing, like where you're giving your players rest, or you think like I have a more important matchup, but I know I can't fish them. Whatever it is, man. And if it's lame, it's lame.
Well, look, man, I think we've given these anglers plenty of rest with the 3 weeks off, and then some of them have bye weeks right after that. I mean, we've been publicly, there's videos out there about how stupid that is. But I mean, there's a reason why we do that. I mean, it's not we want to have a bunch of bye weeks. It's because there's other events that are scheduled, and also holidays that are scheduled during that time. Like we just didn't slap a schedule together and just say, oh, we're just going to pick this week, and with this week. We did it because of a reason. we didn't, we're not losing momentum or anything like that. You guys are just still talking about KFL like it's, like it should be talked about. I mean, like people put a lot of hard work, effort, and promotion into their teams, and I love it. You know what I mean? And it brings up a lot of controversy. I mean, dude, how many times have we seen, like every single day, BK, me and you talk about something with the KFL every single day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
we never talk about all the other stuff.
I think this is the best point. I'm seeing a lot of other stuff in the chat, and like it's all kind of meh. But this is really where we're at, and this is what I'm talking about with rest. I'm not talking about 6 days in the week to rest. I'm talking about rest in terms of like your gas money. If you've been fishing other national events, there is a thing of angler burnout. Some of you that may not fish as many tournaments, you might not be aware of it, but like it's a thing, man.
Well, not only that, it's also cost, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Gas, lodging, all that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it ultimately it's the team's responsibility to make sure the anglers are taken care of with that. I mean, the anglers are also known. I'm going to take this off real quick. I'm going to make this very clear. I've been hearing about, talking about teams and, the cost of what we're doing. And I hear a lot of anglers talk about this, but I'm going to ask the anglers a question. What have you done personally as an angler to help promote and get sponsors to your team? I'm going to ask you that very question. Like, before you complain about your team not having sponsors, you've got to take the initiative and bring the sponsors to the team. And I think all teammates, no matter how many games that they fish, no matter what they do, it shouldn't be just the owner who's going out there and getting sponsorships or knocking on doors or talking about what this is. It should be, if you have an 8-man roster, all 8 men should be out there banging the doors and trying to get that thing in. And it should be a team complete effort. And like rising tides lifts all ships, man. The owners should not have that single burden on them at all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, like, we talk
Yeah.
about cost, but and these anglers talk about, well, I don't want to fish it because it's cost too much money, and we don't have enough money in the sponsorship stuff. You've had all year, to plan for this. Like, here we are, at the almost at the end of the season. Like, where have you been for a year? You know what I'm saying?
And like this is the thing that keeps this from being like a rule. All these teams being like, oh, like people in chat being like, oh, that's lame, this, that, and the other. Then your team's not very deep. If you like had to rotate your guys, not even all 8, just rotate them, and you're not comfortable doing that, or you feel like it's lame, it's probably because your team's not very good. That's just where I'm at. Because we have talked about this with other owners.
Like you're throwing some darts, and that's going to hit some people in the ass. I mean, that's the truth. Like if your team's not comfortable with somebody starting, because they feel like that they have no chance to win, then you don't have a strong team. Like, you're right. If you don't have confidence in that person in your play to go in your place, then you're right. You don't have a strong team.
And right? I think there's a big misunderstanding. We're not talking about the guys that start 5 out of 8 games or 6 out of 8 games. We're talking about the teams, and what I'm talking about is the teams that it's like every week they start the same 4. There is very little rotation. It's one or the other. It's just because there are teams that do a great job of rotating based on their strength, and there's just not other teams. Like, that's it. And that's just my opinion, man. And like, Greg and I don't necessarily agree on that.
Listen, we're not yes men. I mean, me and BK debate all the time. It's very healthy, but I mean, at the end of the day, look, I hope as a Warhawk, okay? I mean, I'm just talking, like, let me get my commissioner hat off. I hope as a Warhawk that we put the best squad on the field to help win the game, okay? And naturally, if we lose, what's going to happen, BK? We're going to question who started.
Yeah, I mean,
and why did they start? It happens, okay? It happens. Now, look, like we have a situation, and I love my team, but I will tell you, my team is dead set about fishing local tournaments, and they use KFL as a secondary, okay? I mean, I've talked to Will about this. Like,
no
NVKBA, I love NVKBA, but I will never put NVKBA ahead of KFL. I just won't. I mean, because obviously I'm tied to KFL.
Sure.
And it puts us in a bad predicament because, like, this weekend, dude, like, we've got 4 guys fishing NVKBA, and we've got 4 guys fishing, here with Virginia Reapers. We could say, including myself, should some of those 4 guys, are we sending the best squad down here? I don't know, because our squad's not available. It's the 4 guys who were just left not fishing NVKBA, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Greg, to a big picture, like, I guess internally I'm having a bit of a laugh because I see people in the chat being like, "No, this is stupid. This is upsetting me." You guys are already doing it. There's just not a rule enforcing it. The rotation this year across the league has been much better than year 1. When Greg and I first started talking about this, it was year 1 where teams were not rotating. They were just fishing so many of the same guys. The rotation this year has been great. It really has been. Like, there have been very few teams that have just not rotated. Like, that's facts. It's facts.
So here's another thing, too. I mean, BK, as a league as a whole.
Yep.
I mean, it does kind of hurt the league when you're not starting your stars.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I stand by what I just said, Greg. The teams this year, like the Shiners, with all that star power, they started Christine, they started Ewing, they started Siddiqi, they started Justin Patrick. Like, all these adjusters, like they've gone through a full 6-7 man rotation, and there is no league rule. Like, there are tons of teams that are rotating. Copperheads are doing it great. Like, Kusa's doing it. Most teams are doing it, guys. It's not like I'm not talking about this in like oh my God, it's a huge problem. We have to get a rule down. like the biggest problem we have is you guys not getting home broadcast when you're catching fish. But like most teams, without even the rule being in play, you guys are rotating great. Like it's what we want to see. Like Massachusetts, I can't believe they've only started Brundle one game?
One game.
One game. They have fielded a different roster pretty much every game. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
like,
but dude, they're 0. I mean, they're like 1-2.
So what? Like they've had some rough matchups. Like they can still make the playoffs, man. And like I don't think that correlates with their win. Part of it's like the chat's been saying, angler availability.
I disagree, dude. You mean to tell me, like we said this, they started Brundle one game. You don't think Brundle could have made a difference in any of those 2 games that they lost?
Was he available? That's a huge thing in this league.
I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the question. I don't know those.
You know, answers. 1 week he was out for a bass boat tournament.
Right.
You know that.
He was.
We asked the question in the chat. They said
that's correct. That's correct. Yes, that's right.
And so, like, we don't know the situations, but I like seeing the teams that build depth in moving these players around to their strengths. I like seeing that. It builds a very dynamic attribute to the league that is great.
Can I give you a hypothetical then?
Sure, yeah. Hit me.
Would you do that in the playoffs?
So I think, like all sports, if your players can go in the playoffs, and just like MLB or anything else, if your guys can go, like there's no inning count in the playoffs. We see pitchers start game 1 and they start game 3 or 4. Like they just throw their arm out. Like facts. Like I like that.
But
I like that. But like playoffs are different beasts, man.
But those are okay. So, but you're using the MLB. Those are series. Those are like best 2 out of 3 or best 4 out of 7. This is a win or win and in and lose you're out.
Yep.
Like this is one and done, man. Like there's no chance. Like if round 1 I'm winning, okay, I've got to win this game. There's no chance I'm going to rotate my roster and fish a different 4 when I just won a playoff game with these guys.
Yeah, Greg. Again, I'm talking about 90% of the league does this so well where they rotate players in and out. They utilize their like role players, utility guys.
Yes.
And I don't think the playoffs comparison is fair. What I'm talking about is that like we still have maybe 1 or 2 teams that are still in like that year 1 mentality where they're like, we're fishing these 4 dudes. Like it just doesn't seem like they're flexible on it.
I don't, BK, let me say this. I'm not a fan of taking the schedule when it comes out and having owners assign games in the very beginning of the year that you're fishing this, that, and the other. And there's no room for flexibility. I don't like that.
Agreed.
I like we talked to Greg Crass, right? Greg basically set the standard on who is going to start this week based on like competitive, who's fishing the best. Like, dude, if you're Rhode Island, are you going to sit down Justin Lacasse right now? He's fishing out of his mind.
I'm not.
You know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like but some owners would say, well, Justin, I know you're fishing the best right now. You're the best fisherman on the team, but we scheduled so-and-so at the beginning of the season to fish this event against the Maulers. So you're going to have to sit down.
Sure.
Like, there's no chance you're doing that. Right?
Yeah, no, there's not. I think this was just a like fun exercise in like how deep are the teams, because like that's what we were talking about last year. I mean, last year we were talking about,
correct,
are these teams that deep? Can they really rotate in and out their players? Because every week it's like, here's our roster starting, and it was like, dude, that's the same 4 roster you started the past 5 weeks. And they're like, yeah. And we're like,
but we also have to be a realist, right?
Yeah.
Like KFL is not number 1 yet. We're not. Okay. I mean, for some it is.
Fair. Yeah.
But we will never be the Hobie. we will never be Bass, and we'll never be, the KBF national championship. That will always
we could
come
be
before
Bass
KFL.
and not give the anglers anything, I guess.
Well, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know,
like,
I know.
like on the hierarchical, ordeal. I mean, we'll never be that, right? I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't say never because we might. But what I'm saying is right now, like,
Sure.
when somebody has an opportunity and they're in the AOI race for Hobie, and
Yep.
they're going to miss a KFL game, they're going to miss a KFL game to go chase the AOI for Hobie, right? Or they have to go for trial and qualify for the TOC. I get all that. That is why we put the rosters at 8 instead of 6, because we recognize that there's going to be some overlap. There's going to be some travel. There's going to be some local events. There's going to be things that happen that allow flexibility in your roster. Okay.
Yes.
There, and it's just a reality. That's the reality. And we might even go to 10 next year because of this. I mean, we might. I mean, we're talking about maybe even rostering a 10 next year just for this reason. But at the end of the day, like right now, especially we're getting ready to make this playoff run. Right now, man, it's crucial that these teams put the winning or the team that's going to win the best or has a better chance to win on the water. It's crucial.
Greg, I totally agree. But like we talked about before, and I think this is what I hope people understand is like we don't have this dialed yet. But there is a model that we've based it after, right?
Right.
And so when you go after the NBA model, that's basically you need 6 guys that are incredibly good and you win. If you do it after MLB, it's that you need depth. You need situational guys. You need this, that, and the other. And so it's just kind of what do we want to build this league around? This, that, and the other. Availability obviously is a huge part of what we do. We know that. And so it's kind of to put it in just very layman's terms, do we reward these teams that build around 4 really great anglers, 2 good anglers, and then they have 2 guys that are just kind of maybe Phil? Or do we reward these teams that are going out and building around 8? They're a very good 8-person deep team. That's the part that's hard, man. We don't really know what the perfect model is yet.
But BK, I think as the league progresses, again, this is year 2. I think as the league progresses, and this is what's great about these teams being able to be in early, they're going to have local anglers that will want to be part of this, right?
Yep.
And so that in itself brings competition, right? And that in itself brings a more quality team every which way around, right? And I don't think that these players, automatically get a spot next year. Basically,
absolutely not.
That's absolutely what I'm saying. So as an owner, aren't you going to try to fill your team, with people who are interested and love KFL and they've been watching it and they're way better than some of the guys who are on the roster now? I mean, in every aspect, as an owner, you got to make a decision. I got to cut this guy after the season's over with, and I'm going to fill him with this. I mean, every owner is going to have that decision. You've got to make the best roster available, right? And then at that point, too, now you've got an even tougher decision because now you've got a roster filled with hammers. Who's going to start? Who's going to do what? Because if you're a competitive guy like me, man, sitting on the bench sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. The worst thing for me to do is be behind this damn microphone when my team is on the water. It sucks. But you know what? It is what it is, man. I can't stand it. I'd rather be on the water, with my boys, fighting battles, so to speak. But but again, there's situations that you have to account for, and again, availability is one of them. I think that availability ordeal goes out the window in the next couple years. I think it's all going to be everybody's going to be available, and these teams are going to be competing for a starting spot. And dude, you're going to see some of the most quality freaking fishing and scores and games, I think, in the next 2 years that you've ever seen in your life, in your entire life. It's going to be awesome.
I agree, Greg. that's just why, while people may be uncomfortable with it or hate it or whatever, like we were talking about, like what is the model for that KFL team? You know, you look at that
Yep.
Maulers team last year, maybe a bit top heavy, mate. But God, they're deep, man. They were deep.
Right.
When they had to field alternates, they were still smashing. And I don't know, like, do we reward teams based on depth? Do we reward top heavy teams? I just don't know yet. Like, it's just we're still in that phase of like feeling it out. You know, if we go to a 10-man roster for availability reasons and just, you know, strength of anglers, the depth, the utility.
Man, I see. You open up a corner sets with this one, man. I mean, there's a lot of great discussion now. I mean, going on right
100%.
now in comments. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, what do you think about the Todd's question here, man? I mean, if we had a playoff roster expansion to 9 for the playoffs, would this be considered? I don't think so.
Okay, so like Todd is talking about something that Todd was also against earlier, which is like when you like in baseball, like you're allowed to like expand your roster and pull some guys up from minor league, you know, or like other guys up to like your roster to have on like playoff roster, whatever. Like you turn in your playoff roster. But this is like, Greg, I mean, me and you have had a hard time with this. Me and you are both grew up in sports. We're both big sports guys. We kind of debate like the positives and the negatives of every point about like, you know, limiting hours. Do you need to rotate? Do you not need to rotate? This, that, and the other. We want top heavy league. We want full roster league. Like there is no, you have your cake and eat it too with this kind of shit. it's one or the other. You don't get to say, yo, I have 8-man roster and I only feel my best. However, could you let me pull up extra anglers in case I need to rotate? Like, that's not how that works, man. It's not.
BK, leagues are built on stars. Okay?
Yes.
They do it one of two ways. They grandfather their stars in that, or stars have been stars, or they build stars, right? Like they build them. Like you got rookies that come up and they make themselves.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and I think, again, from a league standpoint, is teams that are successful, and it's the league's obligation to promote those stars, right? It's also the team's obligation to put those stars out there. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. And can I do this right now? I'm gonna do this right now. Teams are doing a horrible job with some of these games and not putting when we were broadcasting some of these games, BK, I'm looking at some of these teams. Some teams get it, some teams don't. There's teams right now that are really, really good. Okay. And their stars are good at fishing and numbers, but they're not great characters, right? They're not exciting. They're not like it's not something people were going to want to watch, right? They're great fishermen, but they've got a personality of a gnat sometimes. Like they're not good on camera. I think if you have a combination of both, like I'm going to use Jordan Marshall as an example. He was fantastic on camera when we had him on the main broadcast. Fantastic. And he's a great angler. That combination right there could be a deadly combination for the KFL. And we should do more to promote that. The Coosa Kingfishers and stars like that, right? And I'm just pulling out names.
I would watch Jordan Marshall fish for 3 hours not catching a fish over half the league slaying them.
Derek Brundle's the same way, right?
Same, yeah.
This is a content-oriented league. Teams, you know, again, we'll start understanding this. It's a combination of fishing and content, right? And you're only going to get better as a team is if people see what you're doing, okay? And fire brings fire. If your team's excited and they bring the fire and they promote and they like show how excited that they are about being a part of this team, man, dude, it catches like wildfire. You know what I mean? And it brings excitement. Like, how can I be a part of this? How can I be a part of this team? What can I do? You know what I mean? That is what the league needs to start doing better. I'm talking about myself as well as the teams, right? But you can't expect quality if you're not putting out quality, you know?
Greg, let's address a little something right here. Look at this. How do you feel about this?
That's not my problem.
Same.
That's an owner's problem. And Tom, I'm not
Yes.
going to call you. That should have been planned from the very get go at the beginning of the season. And like the league's not going to bail you out because of that, or the Tennessee Shiners because of that. Like we're not going to. Like that's a look. You mean to tell me that they didn't know they were going to Worlds like in the beginning of the season?
When you go after superstars, this is the risk you run. And like we can go through every team if you guys want, but like look at the Bandits with Brian Howell. How many games has Brian Howell fished this year?
0. Yeah.
When you go after national superstars in the kayak fishing world, like they have other obligations. They don't. Like, even if it's an unknown, when you select anglers that are like up for that, if they're in that realm of qualifying, like, sorry. Like, I mean, it's that is what it is, man.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, Todd, you selected the best anglers the nation had to offer in that region, but like, damn it, man. Like, that's not their priority right now.
I mean, look, this is coming straight from what our sponsor. I mean, Lauren, talking about also they let sponsors bring sponsors to their teams, develop personality. I'm scared to death to broadcast. Now, the more I do it, the more comfortable I get. That's right. One of the things that me and Lauren talked about was, again, was so crucial for me for Three Bells to be a presenting sponsor, right, and not just an associate sponsor. Was I wanted a sponsor that was going to be involved in what we do, right? I love having her on with us. I love it because, I mean, it's crucial that, we show a great partnership, right? Especially if she's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and so, I love having Lauren on the broadcast. Like, it's amazing to have a sponsor that is so involved with the teams. And, like, awesome. While she's Northeast in the same way that, like, I'm in the South with my bias, like, I so enjoyed having Lauren on to broadcast because we each had, like, those conflicting point of views, but like that was great, man. Like it's great.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And so, I mean, I guess it bears the question too, BK, is do we now just allow teams to just control their own content, not make them all broadcast, but they're basically, it's like we're going to concentrate on the main broadcast and that's it, man. Like teams, you have the option to do whatever you want to with it. Like we're giving you the platform. We've taught you how to do it. It's now in your hands. Like we're not going to monitor this. We're not going to force it upon you. It would behoove you to do it, but we're going to basically concentrate on the main broadcast, and your anglers better be available.
I think there is just, I mean, Greg, we talked about this a bit. My point of view was that every team, every week, should have to nominate an angler that is available for broadcast. If we reach out, you better be on. And if you're not, your team's going to get penalized. You are responsible for being on that broadcast. It's a duty that gets handed out league-wide because we want someone like we're going to keep using him as an example because like he's what we strive for every angler to be. Jordan Marshall. If he is the angler that is supposed to be on broadcast that week, but we want to check in with Jordan, even if he's not catching fish, we want to check in with him, see how the team's doing. Like, no problem, man. Like, we just want to hear how the day's going, what he's experiencing, what his teammates are doing, whatever. We just need a guy for every team that is like, that's your duty for the day, man. You go out and fish, and if you get called on the main broadcast, your ass better be on there, man. Yeah. Like that's it.
Paul's bringing some good fire, man. I agree, man. Look, this is what makes KFL different, right? It is all about content and seeing, like people want to see what you have to do, man. People want to see this. Like, no other series is doing what we're doing. Like, we are trying to bring kayak fishing to the main, like, to not only the like kayak fishing. I mean, of course, I love watching it. Okay, but we're also trying to grow the sport, right? We're trying to get it into kids' hands. We're trying to better the sport and watch people do what we love doing in a competitive environment. It helps our sponsors sell kayaks. It helps our sponsors sell shoes. It helps our sponsors sell Ripid energy drinks.
Hey,
I mean, it shows exactly what we're doing, you know?
David gets it, man. Like, we just want a representative of every team, your best representative, whoever that is. If you know that you guys are going to fish a lake, and man, this mentality's been here since day one, Mark. We've wanted people, like, the problem I think that we've experienced with it, Mark, I mean, just to be honest, is that Greg, for lack of maybe a little better judgment here, assumed that most of the owners got it, that the anglers got it. You know, y'all are all grown men. We're like, hey, we want to put this content out for the sponsors, for the people watching, for your own brand. And we still got guys throwing up 180 inches a week by themselves, and they're not getting on air. We got guys that are superstars, personalities-wise, and they're not getting on air. Like that's the problem, man.
Yep.
This has never been a idea that we've not had. It's been that, like, how harshly do we enforce it?
Correct. Like for instance, here's the thing too. One thing we've added was the KFL tonight, right? We want to be able to pull content, like have the owners pull content or the teams pull content, like Sports Center, and be able to show highlights of what you guys have done during that game. How can you do that in a short clip if you're not on air, if you're not recording, if you're not doing, content? Like, I mean, you went in, like, we see this guy. Oh my God, I caught a 25. It's my PB. Okay, let me see it. I wasn't on air. Okay, congratulations. I mean, that would have been great to see. You know, like, I get excited when somebody catches their PB. I get excited when a big tank comes on. I want to see fish losses. I want to see the agony of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like lose fish, but my God, I'm right there with you, bro. You know what I mean? Like that opening that when we did with Chris Catucci when he lost the freaking 19 and it cost him losing the championship. I mean, that hits my freaking soul, dude. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been there, you know? But that's what we want to see. I mean, we're just being real, guys. I mean, like, we didn't, trust me, me and BK did not plan this out. You know, we're just being real. I mean, this is good talk about what the KFL is, because, I mean, this is going to help us in the future. You know, I love all these comments, man. These comments are gold.
It's what we want, man. Like, to think that this is, like, on the main broadcast to produce the content or the stardom is silly. Like, every sports thing you've ever watched, maybe it's on ABC, and they're just broadcasting LeBron or whoever is playing. Like, you guys are the stars.
Yes.
That's it. You guys bring the content. Like, we do not. We have no misconceptions about that.
Yep. Hey, by the way,
when you guys don't get on, you don't show us, like, what's happening. That's what's painful. Like, I see people saying need longer broadcasts, need more hours. Like, guys, look, man, there is so much work that goes into, like, everything that we're putting on right now. And, like, maybe you're right. Maybe it does need to be longer. But right now, that's the capacity we're at. But when you ask us to go longer and you can't get on in a 2 to 4 hour period, don't tell us you need more hours. You guys have to get on. You have to. Like, I know your job is to catch fish. I know that. Thank you for doing that. However, if you are in an area that has good service and you're not getting on and sharing those fish catches, you are doing your team, your sponsors, everybody a disservice.
Yep.
Like that's
Agreed.
that's the facts of it. Like,
but Blackbeard keeps on saying we need more fishing content. Dude, we try. Like, we try to
y'all
get
produce that.
invites out. Yeah, I mean, like, all you have to do is come on. Like, I mean, we try to get that out. We want more fishing content.
This right here is gospel. The shit ain't gonna be perfect.
Yes, it is.
Anglers
That's exactly right.
have to be on to show what's available.
Yep. Yeah,
like that's
I love what he says. Exactly. I mean, look, Matt Vogt says the live coverage is what drew me to the league. I mean, look, he's one of the stars now. Matt is one of the stars. I love having Matt on, man. I mean, yeah, this is good, man. I like it. I mean, this is a great look. You're gonna find me personally, like, I like selective criticism because I listen to anglers. You're going to find out that I don't know it all, right? I don't know it all. I have this vision. I have this like, basically this macro thing that I see what could happen, but I don't know all the answers. And I know I don't know all the answers. And that's why, like, when we make very important decisions with the KFL, I will call at least 4 to 5 people. I do. I call them and I'm like, hey man, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? Before I make a decision that's going to make a major effect. I like criticism. I want to hear the goods, bads, and the uglies. And trust me, I mean, it's part of the game. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to overreact either way. Like, I'm not going to overreact when somebody thinks everything's great because I know everything's not great. You know what I mean? Like, there are issues. And I'm also not going to say, well, this thing's just a piece of trash. I need to throw it away because I know there is something great here. You know what I mean? So, again, I mean, I think tonight is so good. So good, of what's been said, man. And again, we're going to take a lot of this, digest it, and do better. We're always striving to do better, man. We all are. It's good. It's good. But anyway, BK, Bay State wins this game. Let's go on.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's go on. Yeah. That was a long deal, dude. Here, man. Look, I straight up picked Maulers. Greg Crass called me. He's like, man, you picked the Maulers, huh? Yeah, I'm picking the Maulers still. I'm not changing my freaking my freaking pick here. I'm going Maulers here, man. I think huge game for the Maulers coming out there. They don't like the lake. I will tell you that. Ken Wood made it quite clear last night. He hates this freaking lake. Does that play into this, man? Are they already mentally weak going into this? That could be it. It's Slatersville, right? So, I mean, could the Maulers' negative attitude have an effect on their performance? Come Saturday?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't care what the lake is. I really don't. Like, I know it's a big part of, like, what we look at. Look, Ken Wood's pissed off. He has a superior mustache to anybody on the Rebels. You guys need to acknowledge that. If you haven't, it's a big deal.
I haven't seen the porch nest. He has a mustache?
Dude, he has, like, this crazy, like, wicked mustache in his profile picture. Like, I'm intimidated. But Matt Conan,
I don't think he's like that in real life. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he might not be, man, but like still, he's putting it out there. Matt Conan, fishing great. Mike Marcone, let's just be honest, Greg. He's got a little bit to prove to us, yeah. Bit
Mike Marcone?
Yeah. We got to see him show up here, yeah.
Yeah, look, man. Mike obviously made a big mistake week 1. Mike's a hell of a fisherman, man. He's a good fisherman, dude.
I know he is. I'm not saying that. Like none of this is like I think you're trash. This is we big matchup, huge matchup. We kind of should show up, man.
Okay, yeah, I that's fair. That's fair. Like, it is a huge matchup. I think the same thing with Matt. Matt Conan too, man. I mean, Matt is on a heater right now.
He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean,
look, like chat, Blackbeard in particular. I know Marcone is a fucking hammer, as you phrased it. I need to see him show up in this game. This is a big game. I need to see him show up.
Yeah.
Guys, that is the deal with KFL. It is week in, week out. I don't care about your longevity. I don't care about your body of work. Week in, week out, I need you to show up.
Let me say this. What you do at Hobie and KFL or KBF and Bass, I don't give a crap. I want to see what you can do in team environment in the KFL.
Yeah.
Like what you do, and like you may have won the Hobie event. Congratulations, have fun with that. But that doesn't make you great in the KFL.
Individual awards don't matter here. I know Mark.
It doesn't.
I know Mike
you have to learn how to be a team.
I know Mike is a hammer. He had a big mess up week 1. I need him to show up in this game. 100%. No doubt about it.
Yep.
That's fact.
So, yep. So anyway, I got the Maulers though. With all that being said, man, I think they show up. I think Koenig and John Ferreira just come out freaking just like, I think they carry the team.
Todd
no offense to Greg.
Rebels win, and Todd is the stat guy. And so because of that, I'm going to go with the Massachusetts Maulers. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. All right, man. Dude, this matchup is huge, man. I can't wait, man. Look, we kind of covered it in KFL tonight. This is going to be a good matchup, man. People are saying you're crazy, -8. I love this team. I love the Sticks. I'm speaking with them in their interviews on Motion Sports YouTube page. It's Jake Angelus. It's not Angelus, by the way. It's Angelus. I just found out like Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yep. Jake Akulis, Matt Lee, and Steve O'Brien. That's Blackbeard versus Brad Campbell, Steve Hedges, Ryan Nye, and Jack Tibbins. We keep on sleeping on Ryan. We keep on saying Ryan Nye and Jack Tibbins. Dude, don't be sleeping on Steve Hedges, man. Don't be sleeping on Steve. He's a hell of a fisherman too, man. But I love, again, what we said. Connecticut is taking 6 guys down. They're going to throw all the information their way. They can make this close. I still think the Sticks take care of business. They go 4-0, and you've got freaking chaos in the Atlantic region. And I'll tell you who's rooting for this game right now. You know who the biggest Sticks cheerleader is right now? Pennsylvania Bronzebacks. They want They want the Sticks to win this game for sure.
Look, I gotta address this, man, because when we say Nye and Tibbins are hammers, this ain't that we don't think the other guys are good. It's that those are the brand names that we're looking towards, and if you guys want to be a brand name, then show up. Show up in these games.
Yep.
That's it. When y'all start dropping 80% of your team's inches, something like that, we'll take note.
Straight up.
Trust me, I'll take note. We'll
straight
take
up.
notes.
I have never heard of Jake Angelus, Jake Kukulis, and Matt Lee. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. You know where I heard of them from?
Before this year, but I know who they are now.
I know exactly who they are now. Like you walk down the street and you say, "Hey, you know Jake Angelus?" I'm like, "Yeah, I absolutely know Jake Angelus. He plays for the Grand State Sticks."
But
they said, "Did you know he won the EKF?" I had no clue. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. I mean,
yeah, I Steve Hedges is great. Show me.
Yep.
By all means, man. I'm here. I'm ready.
He is.
Show me who you are. Brad Campbell, same thing, man.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
That being said, Granite State is going to win this game because of the Jakes. I think.
Actually, I disagree.
Oh?
I do. I think Granite State Sticks wins this game because of Matt Lee.
You want to take a bet on it? 2v1?
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, no, 2v1?
I said the Jakes. I got the Jakes.
That's fine. I'm not going to say, but I mean, obviously by numbers, 2 against 1. I think Matt Lee leads this team. I do. Matt's going to be.
I don't know about that, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yep. But we'll see.
Why are neither of us picking Blackbeard? He's just too cracked in the chat, or what?
Because he doesn't blink.
I feel that, man. I do.
Yeah.
I love Steve O'Brien, but shit, man, he never blinks.
I can't pick. Yeah, but he never blinks, dude. Like you stares at the camera, he never blinks. So I can't pick somebody who doesn't do that. All right, man. Look, New York Empire versus the Doom, dude. I found. Let's see here. Oh no, he's not even involved anyway. Okay, so Brian Balser, Brian Nunziato, Jacob Turner, Tyler Sweet go to Upper Chesapeake. Very tough fishery right now, man, versus David Burt, Bunky, Weichert, and J.R. Rentz and Douglas Rash. I have got the Doom winning this game. But you know what? The Doom not only just needs to win this game, dude, they need to win it big, like point spread rise, because
They will. I don't think this game's close. I think Doom blows this game out. I earlier in this same time,
another Pennsylvania rooting needs the Doom to win, because again, you have a 2-2 team, and again, all 4 teams in the Atlantic Division could go 2-2 if that happens.
Greg, when we started this, I said the biggest loser I think this week is the Empire, because Empire right now, and this is what I mean by biggest loser, they have control of their own destiny. They have a great roster. But I cannot get that 29-inch performance on the road out of my mind. And I love Brian Nunziato. I thought Tyler Sweet was great on air, even though he didn't share his 21-inch or whatever it was catch with us. But look, J.R. Rentz is nasty. He's good. His opinions in chat, mediocre, but otherwise, good. I like this Doom team. I like what the Doom brings in terms of consistency, their team rotation. I just think they're a better, well-rounded team than the Empire is, and I think they're gonna. I think they'll outperform, man. I just do.
Can I say this though?
Yeah.
Doom talks a lot of trash for being 1-2, man.
Well, I hope J.R. Rentz gives you the clown emoji he gave me for saying that he talks shit.
Look, you came out. Look, the Doom talk a lot of trash, and they gave Pennsylvania hell. Okay, they gave Pennsylvania hell in the beginning.
I picked the Doom in that game, by the way.
Here's the deal. You can't talk all that trash and walk the streets like that, and give Pennsylvania all that hell, and be 1-2, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That's dude. That's
I'm just waiting on your clown emoji, Greg. That's all I'm waiting on.
That's like the old Raiders, the old Raiders. Back in the Coliseum, they're known for these big bad tough guys, and they go 0-8.
Look at this.
That's right. That's my boy Joel. Let's go, baby.
I like the Doom. I like what they've done as a team, and J.R. Rentz, while he may call me a clown with emojis and stuff like that, that's cool, man. But I do think he's the difference maker in this matchup. I think the biggest thing for the Doom, and I don't know them this well, but I wonder if at the trade deadline, the roster deadline, if they should have made a couple tweaks. Couple tweaks, man, but we'll see.
I'm gonna say this, and all joking aside, we use Jordan Marshall as an example for the content that we wanted. J.R. Rentz brought every piece of that content.
He's great. It's great,
and I'll say that it even risked his spot, obviously for the Hobie, but I can't tell you how much I've appreciated and loved what he did on the Susky. That was stellar.
God tier.
Freaking
God tier.
Stellar.
Dude, I love J.R.
Go back and watch that broadcast.
J.R. Rentz is a star of this league. I love the dude. Whether he agrees with my opinions in chat or not is irrelevant, but I really do. Everything he does for the Doom, everything he does for the league is what we want.
It was good.
That's what we want. We want that.
By the way, JR, did you get your shoes? That's what I want to know. Did you get your shoes?
So
let me know in the comments. All right.
Ooh, spicy time, boy.
Spicy time, man. Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I love this matchup, man. I love it. Dude, I know I'm going to still say Motor City, but with the wins all these developments that are happening with them wanting to move lakes. Confidence wavering, man. If you are confident, you don't care about the weather. You go bash after team. I think Mike Elsey finishing second day one rocked. Shook him bad. I think it shook him bad, man. Yeah. And I'm still going to pick Motor City. I think they'll do it. But God, what a huge win that would be for the Knights, man. Their second road victory ever on the road versus the division leader. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh.
Good deal. We have this at 7.5 points, okay? After the phone call I got today, it might go down to 3 because Motor City is shook. As a team. They were not happy with the decision, man. Just point blank, they were not happy. And I get it, man. Trust me, I understand. But it just goes to show, like we were talking about with Eric, like, are they not practicing based on where the wind's coming from? Like, have they not, like, practiced where they have to be going launch from? Are they putting all their eggs in one basket that's going to get blown out? Dude, I think Indianapolis has an upper edge because, look, you got 3 guys with Indianapolis has been there for 2 weeks now. They've been with their KFL and now the KBF, and now they're with the KFL. I think Indianapolis now has a shot, dude. I do.
Okay. Pick me the guy that you think in this game will be the most consistent, and then I want you to pick me your weak link. Who is the guy out of the 8 you're the most worried about? Who is the guy out of the 8 you're the least worried about?
I'm least worried about Mike Elsey.
Really?
I'm worried about Matt Lindsay.
Okay, I'm at Jeremy Baker. I think Jeremy Baker is just consistent. I think he'll do fine. I don't think he cares what the weather is. I got Jeremy Baker.
I got you. Yep. I can understand that.
Yep. And I also understand Mike Elsey, man. He freaking hammer. If I couldn't pick Jeremy Baker, I'd pick Mike Elsey.
Jeremy Baker. There he is.
Yep.
Not
I'm telling you, like, I don't think Jeremy Baker cares.
I love it.
I think he just goes out and performs. Who's the guy you're the most worried about?
I'm worried about Matt, man. I'm
really?
worried about Matt. I am.
Okay, well, we at least picked the same team this time. I'm the most worried about Eric Polins.
Could be another one.
I think Polins is the kind of guy that, like, maybe isn't like, God, man, he's so good, like, with what he does. But I'm not sure that, like, his style of fishing is conducive with, like, the conditions. And I think he's probably the most likely to get shook up about that.
Let me tell you, though. Let me tell you this, though. As much as I like Indianapolis Knights' chances in this team has proven over and over and over again, I'm talking about Motor City, that they have overcome so much daggone adversity that they always rallied around together as a team. This is the most solid team, I think, in the KFL. Like, team. Like, the way they work.
Yep, I agree.
This team will take this and basically say, F KFL, F the Knights. We're going to do this regardless what you say, and we're going to come out and we're going to win by 40 inches. Like, that's how they think. You know what I mean? And the guy that really says that is Eric Polens. You know what I mean? Yes. He's that guy. I know Eric very well. You know what I mean? He is that guy.
Well, okay. Like, if that's what you say, man, like, okay, but I'm still telling you, like, I think Indianapolis, with all the, like, move the lake, all this debate that was going on, I think Indianapolis is like, we're ready to fish. And I think when we were talking about moving lakes, not moving lakes, I felt like Polens was the guy that was the most upset, shook, whatever. Like,
Probably.
and that's where I'm coming from. Is like, I'm not saying he can't adjust to it, dude. He's a great fisherman. Like, powerful mustache, school teacher, all that stuff. But like, I just
See, this is what I love about this team. Just this
Yeah.
comment right here.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm-
And I still picked Motor City to win. I just think The Rock, for me, is like, I think Jerry Baker, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's going to go out and just fish and kick ass.
Yeah.
But the guy that I think out of the 8 anglers I'm looking at that is the most affected by it is Polenz, man. And Polenz may just make me eat my words. I have to offer him an apology next week. But for right now, that's where I got.
If the Knights can pull this off, the North as a whole gets completely shaken up. Wild card spots, the Northwest, because the Knights now would become in the first, like the head of the division.
Dude, it'll be nuts if they win.
The North, like as a whole, you talking about wild card spots just getting completely all over the place. This is a very important game. This is a game. We call this a game of the week for a reason, man. This game right here is huge.
Yeah, I just trust Motor City. I trust Matt Linsman. I trust Jerry Baker. I trust Zach Solaire. And I know what a great fisherman Eric Polenz is. Like, I know Polenz, if they will eat, can do it. I just hope his head's not out of it. That's where I'm at.
Yep. All right. Well, here's what we said. We're not going down, period.
Yeah. I don't doubt it, man.
If the lake gets rough, Knights have a better chance.
I mean, the lake might get rough.
Yep. All right, man. My boys, the Washington Warhawks, let's go. Versus the Reapers, man. They've been talking a lot of trash behind the scenes, man. They've been showing all these pictures.
Yeah, not on mainstream.
And Will Brewer kind of got it out. Yeah, Justin Curtis and Will had a little, little chat last night. If you guys watched the fantasy show, they had a little chat. Justin, hell of an angler. Colin Franklin knows this lake. I've now fished it twice. And, man, it's just going to be fun. And what I thought was going to be a trash freaking game in terms of, like, low scoring, it may still be. I don't know. But after today, man, give me everything you got, bro. Like, bring all the sauce. I mean, let's go.
I had Reapers winning this one. I had Will Brewer being the hero for the Warhawks.
My boy Nick. Let's go.
Yeah. Greg, I hate to say this, man, because I know you're the pre-fishing king. I know you don't need more pressure, but this game is basically like if you perform or not, man. It just really is. If you perform, I don't think the Reapers have a chance. And if you don't, then the Reapers are gonna blow you all out. Like that's kind of it, man.
So I would disagree with you in one thing. What I saw today, especially out of Joe, it super impressed me. Like, you guys watch out for Joe Costa this weekend. I'm not joking. He could be legitimately the MVP of the South if he does what he knows what to do now. It took him like a day or two to figure this out. But if what he has figured out translates into the Saturday, let me tell you guys, Joe Costa could be your MVP of the South. I'm not joking. So it could be. I mean, who knows? Again, the Reapers might just freaking kick our tail, and then what we've got is just what we saw today. But Reapers could be on the same stuff too. We don't know. But I will say this game could be a banger, and it could be like 190 to 187. That's the kind of freaking game we might have here.
Okay.
If what happened today, what we saw, comes from fruition.
Yeah, I mean, let's take this bet then, Greg. I don't think this game, one way or another, is within 15 inches. I think it is going to be a
landslide. You think it's going to be a blowout? Yeah.
Either way, one team will find them, the other team will not. It's just how I think this lake is going to fish. It's how I think this matchup will go. I think the fish are not everywhere in this lake. I think to get in that 14-inch plus class fish, which that's not a giant. We're not saying that. It's just that I think there will be a team that figures it out and a team that does not on the day of. So I do not think this will be a close matchup.
I will tell you, this lake is conducive of schooling fish, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Whoever finds them will find them. You know what I mean? There's it's not like, you're going to go, here and find one. No. If you find them, and it's going to get up, and the board's going to light up quick.
Hey, look at Paul Roberts. Will going to carry all facts. Paul, what if I told you Will Brewer ain't on fish? What if we said that? What if we said Greg Nozar caught 173 inches today by himself, and Will Brewer put it up a big old 0 in 3 days?
Well,
what if we said that? What if we said that?
BK,
you got anything to say to that, Paul?
It was 175, man. That last fish held.
Oh, sorry, it was 175. No bad. What we said that,
come
Paul?
on, man. Give me a little credit. The one that I told you jumped up 4 feet in the air. So anyway, all right. But anyway, this is gonna be no. These guys are brutal.
That's right, bro. No one will believe that. But yeah, I actually don't think this matchup's close. I think it's either. I think this will be, and I think it'll be early too. I think there will just be a team that is dominating.
Paul's got a good point, man. Yeah, yep. And let's see here. Todd says, and that's why Will Brewer's my trash can alert. So that's funny.
Oh,
Carl Haggerty saying Warhawks are going to drop the next two, man.
Hey, look, guys. Look, I'm just telling you, this matchup is not going to be close. One team will find them. One team will not. That's it.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to after today. Dude, let's just skip Friday. Let's get straight to Saturday. So anyway, all right. Paul Roberts, Steve Perry, Matt Dunn, Mike Wimmer from the Lunkers, man, going to the Casters. This is basically a local, event for both of them, right? The Casters, Lunkers. Casters again, man. Casters, impressive team this year. Corey Dreyer, I misspelled his name. I am sorry, Corey, dude. It's not like a Dreyer.
Yeah, there's an E in there.
There should be an E in there.
Yeah.
Arlie Minton, and then the Bells are there, man. They're hosting at Randleman. Again, Todd picked this lake to be number 5 producer, but guys, there's a guy I'm telling you to look out for, and its name is not Corey Dreyer. It's Matt Dunn. Matt Dunn really hasn't had that great of a year. No offense to Matt, man, but it wasn't like last year. This is a game that he's got to break out and be Matt Dunn. I got to see that, man. I got to see that.
Okay, so on KFL tonight, I think we both picked Casters, right?
I picked the Lunkers.
Oh, you did?
I think I did.
You picked against Corey Dreyer.
I think I did. I got trashed for that.
Good. You should be. Because Corey Dreyer right now, out of any of the 8 anglers on the screen, is the only guy that I have seen week in, week out. It doesn't matter, road, away, whatever it is. Bro, he's catching them. Like, he's good at catching them.
Have an amazing year, yes.
And I may have to offer an apology next week, but I'm not going to do it right now. I still put my money on Corey Dreyer, man. Like, I know Paul Roberts in the chat, bro. I know that guy can catch him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you catch him as well as Corey Dreyer does.
Ooh, that's a challenge. You hear about that, Paul? Wow.
Go ahead, Paul. Prove me wrong.
Put the challenge out like that, man. Paul
look, honestly, we want to see a great matchup here.
We do.
But what I'm telling you is Corey Dreyer catches fish.
I suck at catching fish unless I'm catching then. That's why wisdom. That's wisdom.
Paul, thank you for that, man. Huge shout out. Thank you for typing that.
Yeah.
Big facts. Look, man, like I do think the difference maker for Tar Heel is Matthew Dunn. I just don't think Matt Dunn outfishes Corey Dreyer, in my opinion, man. This is my opinion.
Sure.
I think Corey Dreyer outshines Matt Dunn, and like every week, man, we've looked at the casters matchups, and we're like, can Dreyer go head to head against their best guy? And we've kind of picked against him.
Week. Yeah,
and he's done it every week on the road,
right?
At home, on the road, at home. Like it does not matter. He's just produced. Right now, he is a star of this league. Tar Heel being 0-4. You guys don't have stars. You have guys that don't catch fish. Sorry, like that's it. Paul. Sorry.
Yeah, this is hindsight's 2020, man. This is not KFL tonight, so we have a little bit. No, we could be a little bit brash. You know what I mean? So, all right, man.
Look,
we got.
I hope Paul Roberts catches fish, so we can bring him on next week, and he can be like, "You guys said I wasn't gonna catch fish, and I was the goat," and then we could say, well, "We have a goat in Florida named Matt Kasparic, and he doesn't catch fish either." So go ahead.
Just throwing shade everywhere. All right, Swap Dog is taking on the Punishers, man. We've got a little vested interest in this game too, man, because we have a little head-to-head matchup on Saturday against Bob Risky and Russ Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna smack that ass around, man. There's no doubt about it. We're gonna take care of business. We're gonna be fishing Sunday, bro. That's what I'm talking about. But Charlie Greer makes his KFL debut, man. Man, dude, we've got the Punishers at 4. People say I'm crazy. In fact, I basically got death threats from the Swamp Donkeys because, like, what else do I have to do to prove to get favored? Well, I mean, go win outside Florida on the road. That might happen. So here you go. Punishers by 4. Man, the guys on this lake, this is their backyard. It's Lake Murray. What say you, man? I've got the Punishers, man. Sorry, Swamp Donkeys. I love you guys,
man. Look, like, we don't need to fluff all this up. The Punishers have been terrible. They've been horrible. I mean, just guys, you get so many home games and y'all have just been bad. I mean, there's not really any reason for me to give the Punishers the benefit of the doubt here. Bob Brisky and Russ Kennedy have been fishing very well. I don't know anything about Charlie Greer. Sorry, mate.
You're gonna know. You're gonna know who Charlie Greer is.
Yeah, and Richard White. Look, man. Like this is your time. Like when Greg and I talk about these matchups, and we say Brisky and Kennedy, they're the stars. This is your opportunity to become a star. Go in to this matchup, go jack up 100 inches, and just do your thing, man. I mean. Become a star. But right now,
become a star. Right.
Palmetto, I don't know if man, I have zero faith in them. I just do. And like, this isn't a rip on your team, man. This is the performance y'all have given us to evaluate. Sorry, y'all.
Like do better. Let's just do better. It's the Louisiana Long Techs versus the Lone Star Bandits.
Bandits. And it's not 9. It's like 19.
But man, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's been a lot of talk by the one Jason Willis. A lot of talk, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. I love his passion for the league. I love his passion, man. I really do. I enjoyed his interview too, by the way, with Keith Lambert, man. I really liked it. Yeah, and I thought he was honest. I thought he was like upfront, and he's super excited about this game, man. Jason, you got to show up, man. I'm talking about, like, I want to see. You got to be over 90 inches, man. Like, hey, I want to see over 90 inches. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man.
Let's do it.
Look, there's one guy on the Hurricanes I will give the benefit of the doubt to, and that's Blake Hennigan.
Yep.
He knows how to fish this lake. He has the lake record there. He fishes it very well.
A newly crowned lake record.
Yep. I am not going to pick against Derek Miller, fish from Fairfield. And I'm not going to pick against Jerome Brockerman. Like, dude, I have fished against Brockelman on lakes that aren't his favorite, not ideal conditions, and Brockelman can catch them. I'm not sure how big of like a Texas name Brockelman might be. The dude can catch fish. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just telling y'all, you feel like that might not be a difference maker in this matchup. I'm telling you, it's going to be. Brockelman is going to outfish Willis, Lynn, and DeForest. Facts. Like, if I'm wrong, I'll come on and apologize. I mean, shit, Greg and I have to do it anyways.
Yeah,
Like,
we're going to do it anyway. I mean, yeah.
But I'm telling you, Brockelman, like, it's not just like I know the guy personally, but like, he is a damn good angler. And I just don't think this one is going to get away from them. Isham is definitely good for a couple of bigs. Hellbig is a great fisherman. I just don't see it like Louisiana.
The
I'm
last
sorry.
the last time the Bandits were on this lake, they did lose to Oklahoma. But Jeff Isham put up like 180 inches. Okay? So he did well. I mean, they just got beat, but Jeff Isham carried the Bandits last time.
Yeah.
Jeff Isham is going to repeat that performance. I think Jeff Isham becomes like he's gonna do the same thing. I think Jeff Isham catches the most out of anybody here. I just do, and the Bandits roll the Hurricanes. Roll them.
I think this is going to be a 20-plus gapper. Louisiana proved me wrong, man. You're welcome to it, but I don't see that. Call me a homer, whatever. I don't care. But man, I just know all four of those guys personally, and they're 0-3, man. But I know they don't want to lose the Hurricanes.
No, they don't. They don't want to do that. So again, it'll help that team, give them some confidence, and then who knows, man? They might sweep the rest of the season, man. And anything can happen in that conference as well, or in that division. So anyway, guys, that's it for tonight, man. We've gone 2 hours and 13 minutes. What a freaking banger show, dude! Awesome. We probably have 500 comments tonight. I mean, good stuff. I love it.
Appreciate the chat being
great
engaged.
Great chat, guys.
Sorry, I made y'all so upset with just angler rotation, but God bless, man.
Awesome, good stuff.
This is what it is.
Have a great night. I gotta wake up like early in the morning. I've got 1 or 2 more spots I want to go check out in the water. We'll see what happens. Peace out, guys. Have a great night.
Cheers.